Episode 105.
105.
Not 104.
No.
Not 104.
I forgot to edit my notes.
Yeah, you did, you silly goose.
Yeah, dropped the ball on that one.
You were longing for last week when it was just you and John. That's
when
what it
we
was.
had biscuits and tea.
So today is episode 105 and we had Conor McDaid on with us.
Hello.
The beautiful Conor McDaid.
Beautiful, thank you.
Giving us the insight into his life so far. You have to listen to the podcast in order to understand what we were talking about, or to get us. We're going to lure you in. We're not going to give it away in the intro.
I love a good tease.
Yeah. Now you already know what it's about.
It's about its OnlyFans page.
Do you have an OnlyFans?
Sure.
Class. Let's do it. Everyone has an OnlyFans nowadays, don't they?
My wife has one. She doesn't know about it though.
Okay, let's name it.
All right, so let's name the podcast. I am going to say I brought chocolate balls. No?
I like that. Yeah.
It's okay. I could think we're going to go for your one, yeah.
No, I'm going to go a nice PC one. Be brave, be you.
Oh, that's good.
Gay.
Yeah. I really liked your other one. Connor, do you have anything?
Not for a podcast, man. I can't.
John Boy.
I don't know.
John.
Bertie's Not Camp.
Was that one that we did before?
Yeah, Bertie is camp or something like that.
Well, was it?
Yeah,
it was. You're right.
Yeah.
Bertie's Not Camp.
Connor's chocolate balls.
Connor's chocolate balls.
There we go.
Love it. Love it. So
You always just nip in there with these little suggestions. All right,
you're holding a chocolate ball in your hand.
Yeah. All right, okay.
In my mouth.
So,
That's all
Bertie, it is episode number 105.
Connor's chocolate balls.
Yeah, waffle me this, waffle me that. Thinking of the topic that you could have had. The only game that makes me feel so alive. I'm guessing for 30, it could be only 5. Getting them all would be a superpower. You can get it every week on the JB Waffle Hour. 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 JB Waffle Hour.
You're in the background there.
Yeah, of course I am. Yeah.
Did you re-record that?
No.
I love that song.
Thanks, man.
I love that
I
song.
was about to say it's a little bit longer, I think, than it was.
It gets longer every
I think
week.
you're adding about
Every
5
week.
seconds on every episode.
Yeah. Soon our podcast is going to be like 40 minutes of that song, and then I was just saying, Waffle Game.
Oh, Lord.
Well, lads.
Hello, everybody.
How's
Did
it
you
going?
say love that game? Or love that?
I did say I love that song.
Love that song. Love the game. Can't talk about them. They're dead now. That's
They
it, gone.
are, yeah.
EA Sports are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not called even FIFA anymore.
Give over.
Yeah.
No, it is. No, FIFA's gone.
It's EA.
ga-
It's EAFC.
No, oh, yeah.
But the game, as it's known,
Oh,
is,
they said it, yeah.
yeah, it's gone.
This is episode 104. And unfortunately, I can't find
Wait,
anything.
are you
interesting.
sure?
No, I'm not at all because I forgot to edit the sheet.
Yeah, it's actually 105 because last week was 104.
Damn
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and I was Googling fucking things about 104. maybe 105 would be interesting. Oh my god, 105 is more interesting than 104.
You're just
Excellent.
Googling the number.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of correspondence.
We did.
Danny Fitz was on. He says that he loved the podcast last week and he wanted us to go back like we were doing through the 90s episodes to say what happened in the years. But the year 105 is just not going to work
Why not?
because the year 105.
So nothing about Jesus or something.
Oh, I don't know. Well,
105.
105. He's probably gone at that stage.
is
Was
a
it?
trianglinger number.
No, it's not.
It is a
It's
triangular.
rectangular.
105?
Put a square around it. Like if you drew around it.
He's
Yeah,
good.
you can put
He's
it-
good.
What do you mean triangle number? I don't get it.
It's a Dossi-Cocknol number. And it's the first Ziesel number. What is Ziesel?
Was it?
It's like...
Does that? Okay, I'm not going to try.
It's a
Don't
Decepticon.
even. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So episode 104 was last week, and Scotty was missing.
Mm.
It was me and John
Yeah.
in his kitchen.
How did that go,
Making
lads?
tea?
Yeah.
I didn't listen to
We
any of
had
it.
tea and we had biscuits.
Yeah.
It was probably a great studio, actually.
Yeah, John is a great host.
Where you go? I don't care.
Well, we
I do my own podcast.
We were well set up because we had
Monday.
the gear,
I'll just take it back then.
and like we had the TV like you, except it was a bigger TV.
Yeah, it was bigger TV.
And we had it like
Now size
I did a
may
screen
or may
share.
not matter, but you know.
Size matters.
You just see, listen, the listeners will just drop off now.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Yeah.
They
Right.
need me.
I'll listen to the radio.
LMFM.
105
Let's give
is
them a
the
shout out.
double factorial of 7. It's also the sum of the first 5 square pyramidal
You still
numbers?
giving facts about the number 105?
That's give the people what they want.
Still talking about
And
pyramids.
then some weirdo messages as well that it was missing something. I don't know. Episode some
Who said
own
that?
genius
Oh, yeah.
stuff. And then Damien was
Yeah.
right in there, and he seems to think it was better without you.
Yeah.
He can't even remember him.
So you're saying the episode that was just me and you, we got the more feedback than ever.
Yeah,
Damn it!
and,
Why did I comment on it?
and
We
the
got
best
loads of engagement.
and the best listen through rate as well.
Was it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
fucking lie if I've ever heard it.
The
So
listeners
your
from
comment,
Africa
Your
were
comment
huge.
bumped the numbers up. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
exactly,
you know,
Yeah, true.
Obviously
yeah.
traction here, though.
Technically, I was on it as well, though. In fairness, so
Yeah,
Mm.
well, that's true.
I didn't miss it.
Suppose.
Technically,
So yeah, please feel free to comment under our episodes on Spotify and make sure you review us as well, because the more reviews on Spotify, the more Spotify is like, ooh, what's this? What's going on over here? What's happening over here?
yeah.
And we'll say, oh, maybe we should help them out and like put them on lists and put them on ads and all that crack, and then we get more listeners. And the more listeners we have, the happier we are, and the happier we are, the better the podcast is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the more Swedish krones we get for.
Yeah.
Swedish crown.
That's turned off, isn't it?
No, we have them at the start and the end, just not in the middle,
Okay, Grant.
because I couldn't figure out how to stop the first one and the second one.
He
Okay.
put them in at the start, at the end.
Sorry
there,
you had to listen
slipped
to
them
ads
back in.
before this, guys. I'm trying my best to get rid of them.
Can we take
And-
them ones off as well?
Yeah, but then it's pointless paying for
Let's not have this conversation now. We're
Okay.
for the people. Okay.
No, let's have a meeting.
meeting on the podcast. And yeah, thanks to our current sponsor, shedsdirect.com.
Yeah.
I seen the van. Someone in out to Dundee Road must have been getting a shed the weekend. I seen
They
the van.
obviously listen to us, yeah.
Unless there's someone that works with shedsdirect.com that lives out to Dundee Road. And if you would like to come on the podcast, feel free. We can talk about sheds.
I would actually love that.
That was class.
I still haven't finished my Sheds Direct
Sheds Direct.
shed yet.
Sheds.
No?
Shedsdirect.com.
Still-
Did
still
you
to
run
be
into
finished.
problems, or is it just you're too busy?
No, just too busy.
Hmm.
Yeah, I haven't put the little thing at the top of it. It's all built and everything, but I haven't put that thing in the top.
The ridge. Does it keep the water out?
I don't know. I haven't been in it now. Just since I put it up.
We'll put a sign at the end, the Children's Hospital or something.
So if there's anyone from Sheds Direct who wants to come out and finish it for me, that'd be great. Yeah. Although I'll probably have to pay them. Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll do that.
You
Service.
should have paid for the assembly. When you
I
got it.
know. I'm regretting it now.
Yeah.
But anyway, how was the weekend, lads? Bert?
Yeah, it's grand.
Oh my God, so boring. John, how was your weekend, man?
Mine was even more boring than Bertie's.
Oh my
Imagine-
God.
Imagine that.
I went for pizza.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, Little John's wood-fired pizza in Scaries. Yeah, it was nice.
You go places and like you just don't think they're that great, but going to Scary's is pretty big.
He spent a lot of money going places.
Yeah,
didn't
no, it was nice now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've said it was
Scaries,
nice.
like.
Did you go specifically for the pizza?
Yeah, to Little Richard's.
You're a
That's
lunatic.
that's
Yeah, it
fair
was
play to you.
flat out.
Did you go with the missus?
Yeah,
Very nice.
so we had pizza. They had no room at the inn, so we got it to take out.
All right.
Yeah, so we sat in the car watching the water.
And the
Ah,
seagulls.
that's nice. That's kind of romantic.
Then
What day
I-
was that?
Then had to pee. Saturday evening.
Ah, very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
That's
Saturday
nice.
evening.
That's nice.
Sunday done a wash.
Right. John, how was your weekend?
I didn't do a wash anyway.
Oh my God.
You missed the drying on Sunday morning, John.
It was good drying, was it?
Yeah, that was the only time. Bit of sun, bit of wind up until lunchtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the full load out.
Was there a bit of rain on Sunday morning? Oh, it was Saturday morning. Saturday morning. was
morning.
bad.
Well, Friday night I was looking for a couple of friends to hang around with, but there's nobody around. Because
You forgot to text me.
no,
I
you
said-
forgot to text me.
I said to text me. I was doing nothing.
You said I'm going to text you at 10:30. I got no text from you.
Oh.
So
Saturday-
anyway, I hung around with my kids. That's
That
what I had
was
to do.
nice.
Technically, that's just you being a dad.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
you hanging around with your kids, man.
Kids. And then the wife was having like a girly party, and I was told to stay away from the house.
Oh, right, yeah.
So,
what did you do? To the
I
sheds
came home
direct?
at like 9:30. I wasn't going to kicked out of my own house, and I went in to set.
Yeah,
up.
John.
Yeah,
You're a
you-
man
you
in that
tell
house.
him. You tell
Yeah.
him, John.
So I went in
My kids.
and said, "Get the hell out of here!" I know. And then
Put on the little apron.
I ended up having to make them loads of drinks for the rest of the night.
Oh, of
yeah.
course you did. You became the butler.
Yeah. Basically, my gin stash got raided. So,
Lovely. But that's what it's there for, to be drunk.
That's what it's there for, sure. Yeah,
Surely.
You really stood your ground there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Docile tones coming in there.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a guest
Sexy.
today.
Yes, we have a guest.
Conor McDaid.
Hello.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was just brilliant. It
Your
was
voice is
amazing.
fucking so sexy.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
It goes between gay and culty. Like, you know, so it's a culty.
Like I forgot
yeah.
for a second.
yeah.
GLG.
So how was your weekend, man?
It was good. We went for a little hike, a little walk yesterday. It was about 3-hour walk just down the road from us, like where we moved to. And Saturday got some new housey stuff and did that. Cooked a bit of shin of beef for about 4 hours. Beautiful, lads.
A shin of beef.
Shin of beef.
Yeah.
What's
Like
a shin
a-
of beef?
Like
Oh,
a beef,
the
you know,
shin.
your shin on,
Yeah.
on your leg, yeah. Cooked that for like 4 hours.
Holy
And like a
just
slow cooker, like?
melted. No, just on the hob.
All right, okay.
And, yeah, cooked it away. It was beautiful.
Nice.
Falling apart. Bit of mash, bit of gravy.
So you're into a bit of cooking.
I was a chef.
Yeah.
That's right.
Jesus.
Don't.
Yeah.
We're going to get there. We'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you asked the question.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so what are you going to ask Conor? Well, we can ask him about all his career and Shane's career. No, we just want to talk about him being gay.
Yeah.
That is what I got all week.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I get to talk about a gay man gets to talk about themselves. Hello.
we know one gay person. This is our only opportunity.
Yay.
I am the community. Like, you know what I mean?
He's the only gay in the studio.
Well, that we know so far. We'll see
Yay.
after today.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a test because I don't know if I'm gay. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
That's a question that I have
That's
for you.
for me,
later on.
okay.
Yeah.
You've known me for a while now. I think we maybe.
Yeah,
you
you're
would
too-
have.
you're
You would
too
have made
smelly.
your move by now.
Way too smelly to be
You would have
gay.
made a move.
You?
You would have made a move by now. If you
Yeah,
were gay,
absolutely, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
saying
of course,
he doesn't
yeah.
have standards, or
He has very high standards. That's why I'm talking about.
Yeah. You present yourself very well, but I know you too long now
It'll just be
to
awkward.
not make a move on you.
Yeah, but like, look, you don't have to be gay to appreciate a fine-looking man, though. You know what I mean?
Well, this is something.
100%.
Well, we just get into this, right? So, I'm not gay. I'm definitely not gay, but I will look
You have
at
some gay
certain.
tendencies.
Well, I certainly do.
We had an
Um,
episode, Man Crush episodes. So.
Yeah. Oh, you remember that episode?
I listened to it.
It
a
was
few
just
times.
us
There's a little
crushing
Conor in
on
all
men.
of us.
That I find that if I see a really attractive man, I don't know if I want to necessarily have sex with him or not, but I can really appreciate a good-looking man. Like, Jesus, that's a good-looking man.
Yeah, as inspiration or as in.
I don't know. I'm a little bit confused about it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I want to be their friend or something.
Yeah.
You know that way?
Yeah, I get it.
Do you ever watch like Chris Hemsworth doing stuff and you're like, yeah, I could definitely hang out with him.
Mm.
yeah, but you're just seeing somebody who is attractive, who's naturally attractive. You're just like, okay, that's a good looking person.
If I
regardless
That
of
more than
gender or
likely take
anything
some
like that.
supplements.
If
Yeah.
I hang around with him long enough, I'll also become attractive.
Is that? Do you think that's
That's a cheerleader coefficient.
no, a straight man thing is like, you know, they look at other men that are attractive and they can't admit that the other man is attractive.
100%.
Yeah.
But because they think that it affects their straightness.
Yeah.
That's what it is. If I
Yeah.
show any sort of weakness or any sort of femininity at all, or any just other opinion outside of the norm, your whole world can come crashing down.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad in both ways.
It's like insecurity.
Do you know,
or something,
yeah,
is it?
so insecurity and the fact that they're so I don't know, your straightness is very it can be broken, shattered, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the word for it is. I'm sure you can think of
Yeah,
something.
no.
No, I
yeah,
get
that
you.
works, yeah.
Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah. So that means that I'm a
You're not a ruler. You're more like a
present
jelly.
straight
You
man.
can bend.
You're a confident straight man that appreciates
So I'm comfortable in my straightness. Is that what it is?
good looking
Yeah,
men.
like if you
Well,
see
exactly.
a nice car go down the street, you can say that is a nice car, but you don't want to ride it.
Exactly.
That's a little bit different though. Like, is it
That's
not?
exactly the same.
Depends on the
Yeah,
car.
but you're not a car.
Yeah, and you're not gay, but you can still appreciate.
Okay, but like a gay
Yeah.
man can see a gorgeous woman and go, she is aesthetically beautiful.
Yeah,
I don't want to have sex with her, but I'm just stating a fact.
Same thing then.
Appreciation.
It's
Yeah.
just appreciation. That's all
yeah.
it is.
So yeah, I guess what I'm saying then is that, you know, it's those insecurities that we would have grown up with, like in school. If you would have been like, oh, that's Jesus, John.
I got overexcited.
Oh my God.
At least it wasn't me. I'm okay with that.
John's blown his load.
Yeah, right there, John. Jesus Christ. So yeah, in
Amy.
in school, we would have been. Would you have been comfortable enough to be like, oh, Chris Hemsworth's a good-looking dude?
Oh yeah, I think so.
in secondary school?
Some weren't. I think I was all right, but maybe I'm wrong. Connor didn't like me in secondary school, so maybe I'm
No,
wrong.
he was a dick.
Really?
Oh, Bertie was one of those people I just thought was a dick.
No!
I know, up until I was like 21, 22, and I
then
actually
we
got to
became
know him,
best
and then, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
How does that happen
I
outside
know.
of school?
Was there something that
He was just he was part of, I don't know, GA soccer lads, and they're
Yeah.
just dicks, like.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone, but like, that just wasn't for me. And I just, I didn't really know him.
Because everybody knows that me and Scotty were in the same year. John was ahead, so you wouldn't really know John,
Yeah.
and you were in the brothers as well, so you didn't really know us that long anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were the year below us, though, right? Or 2 years below us, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, you're
I was
younger.
a year
Yeah,
below
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
when did you
Because
join?
we were in Paddy's year, like.
You were in Paddy's year?
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you were a year after that.
I'll say
right?
nothing. I'll say nothing at all.
It wasn't the best year, but
Not the best year.
Can we just go straight into it then?
Yeah.
When did you know
lube up first.
that you were gay? Was there a period of or was it a case of you just always knew?
Yeah, because you came out fairly late, didn't you?
Oh, lads, your heads are going to blow. So I came out when I was 30.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was really loud. When you were 30.
Yeah.
And is that just because you realised it, or you just took it that long to...
I knew I was, you know, you're, we'll say, quote unquote, like different or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know, from a young age, you know, something's off, or not off, but just different. And I don't know, societal pressures and stuff like that. You get into your own head. And at that time, it was still, you could still slag people for being gay and stuff like that. Like, to be real, it's only been 30 years that it's been legal.
Yeah.
We've
And
only,
you-
the marriage referendum came in what, like 2015.
You saying about us being in school and towards the mid-noughties, like things that were like, you know, not nice or, you know, something was stupid. Oh, that's gay.
That's gay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So you
Yeah.
already have that negative connotation to your head.
Yeah.
And long story short, like I was in relationships and stuff like that, and it just got to the point where I literally couldn't. I was broken. I just couldn't go on living. You're not living yourself. You're just, imagine living your life not being who you are.
Right.
And it's a core part of you. It's not everything, but it is a core part of you. So I kind of got really, like, the mental health took a massive hit, and it still kind of impacts today. It's not as bad, but it's still those tiny little things. Yeah, they do impact you. But yeah, no. Anyway, I just got to the point where I just had to kind of come out. So it was like in or around now, 7 years ago that I kind of came out.
That's not long ago.
No,
Like, so that means
it's-
you were in like going through that for a long time.
A long time.
Like-
You're in your head, not being able to talk
And
to anyone.
what were you worried about? Not being accepted, or your friend losing friends or something? Or
It is that rejection of, because people around you unknowingly would make homophobic remarks. And like you said, Bert, like back then you could say, oh, this is gay, that's gay, or whatever like that, and you just throw those words around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the fear of rejection, the fear of being alone and stuff like that.
and that was,
That's what
like,
it is.
back
And
then. Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking it's so unfortunate. Like, I'm trying to think of, was there no kind of inspirational figures back even when you're 21, 22 that had come out and kind of given you the inspiration? It's such a shame that you had to go through that for.
Yeah,
all
I
that,
mean,
you know?
you kind of come to, I kind of knew, I really want, when I went to New Zealand and I came back, I kind of wanted to kind of explore my sexuality then when I kind of came back. And
When was this now?
I think I was about 24 when I
Okay.
got back from New Zealand. And I kind of, I wanted to explore this side. But then I kind of got into a relationship with a girl, and it just, one thing led to another, and blah, 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 blah. And that just kind of, that went on.
Was
for a
that
few
one of
years.
those things like that's what everybody else was doing?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, it's like you're supposed to hit these certain markers, and I was like, okay, I might as well. You just kind of like suppress that part of you, do you know?
So do you feel that you were bisexual for a while? And
I think so, yeah. And the more I got, the more like I'm out now, and I'm in a queer relationship. But the more I'm kind of understanding the different nuances between like gender fluids and sexuality and stuff like that, I think I'm like, I love being in the gay relationship that I'm in, and I wouldn't go back to a straight relationship. But I am attracted. I would find everyone attractive.
Right.
What's
that kind of way.
Pansexual?
Pansexual. It's
Yeah.
kind of like if you watch like Schitt's Creek. There's a line
Yeah.
David says, he's like, "It's not the label, it's the wine that I'm interested in," and
Sometimes he
that's
drinks
where
white
I
wine
kind of
and-
yeah.
Yeah, I love
I like
that
white
line.
wine and red wine, and somebody who used to be like a rosé but now is a cab or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what that's what I find attractive in the world
Right.
now. But I would never want to be in another straight relationship because I just find it too constricting.
Yeah.
You're set in a binary of what you're supposed to be in a relationship, and in the straight world you're supposed to, it's all kind of mapped out in a way, you know, you go to college, you get a job, you settle down, you get a wife, you get to have the kids and all that crap, and in one way you're kind of very constricted in what you're supposed to do, and if you journey outside of that line at all, you're othered.
Right.
So being in the queer community, you're completely free now just to get on with your life and do whatever and express however you want. It's so freeing.
And did you feel like a freedom when you came out? Was there like a weight completely lifted off for you, or was it more of a process of?
I think like you're still the Conor that have been friends with now since we were 21, 22.
Yeah.
But the only thing I notice about you is you definitely got lighter. In a
You
way,
lost weight.
I lost weight. What are you saying? My complexion.
and I only really thought about it recently, just because you're coming on and things, that like we always got on well together, and I never felt that there was anything that you were hiding or you were just Conor, like. And whatever you told me that you were into, I backed that 100%. But thinking back when we met that Christmas Eve and you told me, since then on, you seem to have got like, whether, I don't know, it's your personality or your face or the way you carry yourself, you just seem like a bit lighter or something. I don't know what way to...
Yeah, like I definitely feel a weight has been lifted. But like, having said that, knowing you, everyone knows you, and you've got a personality that is a bit camp and stuff like that. And I love that. I love that about you. And you've always had that, and I always felt whenever I was around you, you were kind of like the one person where I could express that slight campness and stuff like that. And we'd bounce off each other.
At the time you coming out, was Bertie your best mate at the time? Or close enough? No, but I
You can say one of.
Let's say one.
Yeah,
of
no,
one of your best
he was.
I'm trying to.
He
There's a
was.
lead on to this. I'm
No,
just
he-
trying to say, like, obviously, if he's one of your good friends, like, was it who was the hardest to come out to, or
that's a
Bertie
good
been the? Like, was there one friend? Don't say any names, but would have been a friend that you go, I can't come out, I can't tell him because I know he's going to.
No, there was never anyone that I didn't want to tell. It was just about timing of who I wanted to tell at what point, because I was mentally and emotionally ready to tell that person. Do you know, that kind of way. It was never really a fear. You always fear about telling your family because just of it is what it is. You don't want to disappoint your family. That's what it is. And in your eyes, you're seeing yourself as a disappointment, but you're not. They just need to get over themselves and get used to it.
Did you feel disappointed by, say, anyone's reaction to it or anything? Did anyone kind of surprise you?
Oh yeah. There was disappointment, and it's how do I say this? It's like a miscommunication or just a way with words that things get lost in translation.
Because there is like I think you said to me about your inner circle or like that. There was ones that you wanted to tell at certain times and stuff like that and talk to them. But outside that, then after that, then it didn't matter what people thought. Like,
oh, exactly.
All the rest, like.
Yeah. Once my core knew and once they were okay, I didn't really give two fiddlers about anyone else. And I still now I couldn't give a fiddler's fuck. Like who knows?
What were you expecting? What were you expecting my reaction to be?
Probably what it was. Oh, cool. So, well, at least now I know what shoes to get or something. It'd be something like that, you know.
That's
you can throw your cons over to me and stuff like that. But yeah, it's different coming from like a small town. You've got the small town mentality
You didn't
as
know what
well.
Vans was before I met you.
I know.
Vans and cons.
You
You're a
want
very
to
stylish
you want to see the amount of cons I have now at home. Like, it's actually ridiculous. That's why I bought a house, like, you know, a room for my cons.
Well, I must say, like, I haven't met you since before you technically came out. So, and when you walked in that door, you're double the man that I seen
Thank you.
those years before. It's just you're glowing a bit more.
Thank you.
I don't know what way to put it. You're actually like when I said you looked younger, I did mean you looked younger. It's like
Listen,
you're
I'll take
healthier
a compliment anywhere. Like, you know,
but you can, but I can. It now going back. Like, I remember, like you were having a tough time. I remember you like you're smoking and you're working crazy hours, chefing and stuff like that, and you're grey almost. You know?
Really, like
And
I really just a shell of.
You were a
person
shell
I
of man,
was.
and just when you walked in there, it's
Yeah.
like, wow, you look younger, you look fresher.
Thank you.
This has obviously been what you wanted.
Yeah, because I was kind of when you think about the last few days, like back then I was literally just trying to survive. That's it. You're literally just trying to make it through to the next day of keeping up the facade and hoping that no one will find out your biggest secret and stuff like that. And now I just don't care. I care about other things now. I've got other issues that we all have to deal with, you know, that kind of way. But me being a gay man, no, I couldn't give two fiddlers fucks. Do you know, it's different. It's I thought I would care more maybe when I was moving, because I moved up to Dublin, and you'd think that that's very multicultural and stuff like that, but you still get people saying stuff to you. Like we were walking, it was last year, myself and my fiance Sean were walking down to a pub, and we were literally holding hands, sunny day, not even saying it, and just like looking around and stuff like that. And a guy, he could have been 50, in his 50s or 60s, like just said, excuse me language, like, for fuck's sake lads, get a fucking grip.
Jeez.
Just because you're holding
And
hands.
you're literally just holding hands, doing nothing. And you're kind of going, right, it's just you're gonna get it everywhere.
Yeah,
And I was a
yeah.
bit kind of not fearful about moving to the country again, but just a bit wary, we'll say, because I know what it's like. But we moved into the town, and there's a statue there of a man sitting with a dog, and we moved in kind of like a week or two before Pride, and they had all Pride banners
totally.
all over and stuff like that, and it was just really, really welcoming. So it's, look, you're going to get arseholes out there who are going to think the way they think.
I think it's that
but the
generation,
majority-
or even the generation that's teaching the generation below. I think it's the brainwashing of some sort.
Yeah,
You know? When your brain's wired that way, I don't think there's any way of changing them until there's like consistent acceptance and like if there's consistency in the sense of Pride every year and you know, being more public and
But like
you know,
we like people go, oh, why is there a need for Pride? Like, okay, Pride is great crack anyway. Like, we'll put off about it. It's just a massive party. It's fucking great crack.
Yeah.
But like, we shouldn't have to have a Pride.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to have a Pride for your very existence. Do you know? That's what it's kind of coming
Because
down
I know
to.
since you said, was it 7 years ago?
Yeah.
So I don't know whether you know, but you've changed, definitely changed how. Hopefully, I would have changed anyway. But knowing you and wanting to defend you even when you're not around, not just like, because I feel like more to stand up for people. Because I know, because as I said, you're one of my best friends, and any situation, I always think if that was Conor and that, I wouldn't like them saying that.
Ah, that's very good.
You
Thank
know,
you.
so if I know that maybe someone is, you know, struggling with that or hasn't come out yet or that, or there's a possibility, I'd always like them to think that if I'm around, it's okay and it's a safe place. And then anytime people use the wrong language or that, like, I challenge them now. I'd like to
good.
think maybe I would have been like that anyway, but I definitely know since you came out, and I'd always want to try and defend you if that was you in that situation. Like, you know?
That's really good. That, like, it wouldn't have been in your peripherals. It wouldn't have been in your orbit before, but now it is. You've got a face to the cause. Do you know, that kind of way? So
And you were talking about being in relationships before. Did you feel, was there a specific sort of relationship that you're in that you felt that the woman in the relationship was trying to guide you down that path of going towards, say, kids, wife, marriage, that traditional route? Or was that you kind of, you had this expectancy of what a straight relationship was, and that's what was...
yeah, it's that expectancy of, I expected to settle down and have kids and stuff like that, and willing to live an unhappy life because I thought there was no escape. So you might as well like go with that. You know, and I've seen like plenty of times where, you know, married men with kids and stuff like that, they do come out later in life because they were forced into whatever. Not forced, but just by chance. Somebody got pregnant and just fell into it, and it just snowballs, and you literally just
that could have been a road you went.
I was willing to go down that road, but I just broke mentally and physically. everything, you know.
And was there a part of you at that stage where you were like, I really want to have kids? And now, is there a part of you that has that changed for you at all? Do you still want to have kids? Or?
Yeah, that's the thing. Me and Sean have had kind of disputes over this and kind of whether to have kids. And before, I always wanted to have kids, and I always said I wanted to be a dad. And now, the more that I'm kind of like enjoying my life and stuff like that, I don't know whether I'm open to the idea, but I think it was because, like you said, you're stuck in that straight narrative of this is what you're supposed to do, and you're conditioned to live your life a certain way. And if you don't have kids, you're kind of seen as a failure. It's like not necessarily gay men, but even like women and stuff like that. If you don't want to have kids, you're like you're not a real woman and stuff like that. Do you know that kind of way? So at the moment, I like my life too much, and I'm enjoying it too much to think about that. And I don't necessarily think that everyone should be parents in that way, because there's plenty of parents out there who aren't not necessarily, they're not good parents. They're just they're good people. They're just not good parents. And I don't think that everyone should have kids if you can. You know, that kind of way.
As you said, they were just going through that process of, okay, now it's time to get married. Now it's time to have kids.
Exactly, especially like our parents' kind of generation. That was the norm, and how many of our generation's parents have split up and aren't kind of there and stuff like that. Do you know? So it's kind of
Yeah, I think I knew, for me anyway, there was always like, not a yearning, that sounds kind of weird, but growing up I always knew that I wanted to be a dad. I don't think that my sexuality would have changed that at all. I don't think it was just too strong that I wanted to be a father of kids.
I get you.
But no, that's interesting.
But in your community, that's kind of
it's easy for me to walk down that path.
Exactly, and it would have been reinforced and everything like that. But like, I mean, if people want to have kids and stuff like that, I'm absolutely delighted for them, and that's what they want in their life, and that gives them a feeling of completion or whatever like that. Fair play to them. Like I'm all on for that. Like you know, but like, you know, you fuck around, you find out. Basically, you know.
Exactly.
What next for you is you're obviously going to get married someday.
Yeah, it was always, we got engaged like 2 years ago on our anniversary. We always go hiking in Glendalough, and we're going again on Friday. And it was always, you know, when's the wedding? No, I want to get a house first. Putting off. And now I have a house, and I'm like, shit. But we actually started talking about it the other day. And probably 2025, I'd say, because you
need a best man for that, I assume.
And a wedding band.
Well, see, we don't have to have best man. Like we can just throw everything out the window.
Gin and tonics.
Podcast intro into the wedding.
DJ over there.
You already have it here. Like, you've got the mics. Come on. Just have a podcast at the wedding.
This is basically why we got you on. We're just trying to sell it.
You're trying to book a band here, like, is it?
We're not even recording.
Listen, I'm here, right?
That's good.
But yeah, no, we'll get married in probably, I'd say, 2 years, because we had lockdown and then we had to save for the house. So we basically had 3.5 years of lockdown.
Then you know if you want to marry someone after that.
You know what I mean? Well, everyone else was out enjoying themselves. We're like, we're saving for a house.
Yeah.
But so now I think we want to live in it for a year, get the few bits and bobs, and then start saving again, maybe for a wedding or something.
You're
like
dead
that.
right.
So
yeah.
So it was.
Head over to Vegas. Just do it.
See, that's what I would do. But
traditional man.
Traditional man, like, you know what I mean? These fucking traditional gay weddings.
Is there in a relationship, a gay relationship, is there a man and woman in it? Like, as in there, who's the?
Now this is on a list. This is on a list of questions that you should not ask gay men.
No, do you know what? Because
is there, like, who's the boss?
These are the
who's
questions.
The boss? That just tells more about your relationship.
You can edit this out. It's okay. I just need to know this personally.
Agneta, it's official. You're the boss.
So, like, in straight relationships, who wears the trousers?
You see, this is the thing I just said.
No, in this day and age, it's all equal. Except when she's angry.
There is no, but you get to you both bring your masculine and feminine energy and your vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
So how I kind of describe it is, you both get to be the big spoon and the little spoon. You get to choose. And that's what's deadly. You can, sometimes you're feeling a bit vulnerable and you need someone to kind of like take care of you, and that's what you want. and then you feel then the protector sometimes. So it really does go back and forth. There is no.
You were saying when you bought the house that you didn't do any of the paperwork.
Oh yeah, no. Somebody needs to take charge in that role, and Sean has that mind and to deal with people.
Good
I
with numbers.
can't. Yeah, well, just dealing with people in general, I can't. I'm just like, I fucking hate people.
Isn't
I
that
get it.
something maybe about straight relationships, that the man in the relationship has trouble sometimes feeling vulnerable? As you say there, you can change roles, but the man sometimes you feel vulnerable, or you're feeling down or something, or you need someone to like take that role, but it's maybe not.
You're seen as a weakness.
Yeah,
in straight men,
yeah.
vulnerability is totally seen as a weakness, and it's not. It's actually just a strength, because you're emotionally intelligent.
Where neither
to-
you or Sean would say that if either of yous opened up to each other, like.
I mean, we're gay men. We slag each other and then go. Oh wait, sorry. But no, we're our biggest problem. Like we wouldn't like bicker or fight over. Oh, you did this or you did that. It's I just interpreted what you said wrong. That's literally where our kind of arguments would come from. So we're more open with our talking and our dialogue. It's just sometimes things can get lost in translation.
You have been to therapy.
Wow.
Jesus, oh
Wow.
I can tell. I can tell by the way you talk.
I love going to therapy. The last time I went was about a year and a half ago, and I see it as kind of like an NCT or a mechanic. Like you can hear something rattling and you're kind of going, I don't like that, or there's something there I need to pick and stuff like that. And that's why I go.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing to allow yourself to be to be that vulnerable and to let that side out of you, and you can just let go of a lot of shit you don't even think that is affecting you. But if you're talking about something and you're saying a certain phrase, and like a counselor or a therapist will hone in on that and go, oh wait, no, let's just focus in on that, and then unravel that and pick away, and you're kind of like, you say something and it just relieves so much stress, so much pressure, darkness, whatever is going on in your life. It's absolutely amazing. I cannot recommend therapy enough to people.
Yeah.
Do you know, if you've got it with work and it's free, just take it. Literally just take it and just unload in a way.
And is that obviously because like it's different than talking to the people you care about then as well, because obviously they're professionals, so as you said, they can pick up on maybe things that
exactly they can pick up on certain things, but you have to find the right therapist for you and for what
just because
you're
it has
going through.
a degree or a master's doesn't mean it's the right therapist.
Exactly, they could just be dealing with, they're great for other people, but you just have to find that right balance. The first person that you feel really comfortable just letting yourself. There's so much trust. But you get rid of a lot of baggage.
And when you were not coming to terms, but when you were kind of when you were coming out, or when you were accepting who you were you going through, or were you going to a therapist then to help you go through that process, or did you deal with that yourself and then go back and look at it? Or?
I went post breakup because I was just in a mess, and that was only like for a short time. But I was out probably for about maybe a year and a half.
All right, okay.
Things aside, just started kind of snowballing in my mind, we'll say. I got to a stage where I'd get up for work, I'd go to work, I'd come back, I'd go straight to bed. I just couldn't deal with any shit. So it really got to kind of like a really, really low point. And going to that, when I went to therapy that time, that really, really helped me kind of accept who I was. And one thing like they kind of said is like, I didn't just come out. It's not a shock for me. It's a shock for all my family and friends. So I had to kind of ask them, how does this affect you? Your life has been turned upside down. You thought that I was going to go down one route, and now that's all been thrown away. You know, my mum, she was just completely so worried about me. Not just mentally, but like even now going out in Dublin, I'm 37, and she's like, just be careful, just be safe.
Wow.
You kind of have to be still. Anyway.
You still have to be, but you throw in that you're gay. There's something else worrying in their mind. It's a mommy's worry. Do you know?
Yeah, of course.
Like they're always going to worry about you.
Yeah.
So
No, I get you. Yeah.
like being gay isn't tough. Like being gay is fucking brilliant. It's fucking great crack.
You're selling it to me, man. You're selling it to me.
Man, the people that you meet are just amazing. It's a world full of colour and it's just beautiful. That's not being hard. It's straight people who make gay lives hard.
Yeah.
It's not all straight people, but it is that's who are making gay people's lives hard. It's not. We're just living our lives.
I still can't believe it's still a stigma of some sort. Like when you think back to the days of Freddie Mercury, even then, Elton John, they were all out. Yeah, how can it be like that all these years still after? Like,
But they're just recycling the same arguments the whole time. Even now with trans folk and stuff like that, they're using the same narrative that they used for gay people 30 years ago.
Is it all religion based, or is it now just like ignorance based? What is it like? Is it still religion at the base of it?
It would be religion and ignorance, but like colonialism has a lot to answer for, because like there was a third gender in India, and I think it's called the Harasha or something like that, and that dates back to like the mid 1200s.
Right.
There's in the Inuits in Canada. Shellbomb. I know, right? Here's another one as well. In the Inuits in Canada, they've had two-spirited people. Their fables, their tales tell of like a tree where life came from, and one was male energy, one was female energy, and then another one was two-spirited. This tree was two-spirited. So even in their LGBTQIA+, before that they have 2S. So all these predate colonialism.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of targeted anything other than the norm.
Yeah.
Do you know, that kind of way? And it's just
fear instilled.
It's fear, it's ignorance, it's obviously religion based and stuff like that in certain circumstances. But then like fear and hate is not learned. It's taught.
Yeah.
Do you know, that kind of way? So
isn't there still some countries where it's illegal? Like still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's certain countries where we can't go.
Wow.
You have the privilege of going wherever you guys want.
Yeah.
But we can't.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Saudi Arabia is one of them, I think, isn't it?
Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the kind of Middle East is very...
Yeah, sure. It's not what they're talking about when the World Cup was on.
Yeah.
And is it Jota that went to one of the new Saudi Arabian clubs that now he's having a terrible time because... Celtic Jota, yeah.
And the gays have just tuned out.
Well, no, he is gay. He's gay football.
I tune out at this as well.
But he's been dropped, and like he's just having a terrible time.
Really?
Basically. Yeah.
Where is there a line in what people want to be? Because obviously, the gays and lesbians have fought for rights and been, But then there's people who want to be a cat.
Oh, Bertie.
That's a different fight altogether, isn't it?
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah,
a cat on next week. Actually.
Okay, so
but I like it's. I don't think it's a case of that you want or you chose or you wanted to be.
Are you talking about like furries and stuff like that, like people who dress up like a cat?
No, the people who want, that's their identity.
They identify
as a cat.
Okay,
So they're looking for rights and want to fight, but I feel like that's a different thing.
I don't think they would have been born as a cat though. They're just deciding they want to be.
It's definitely a different thing.
That's definitely like a different thing. Are you talking about like gender identity and like trans issues and stuff like that? Is that what you're you're leading into?
Yeah.
Okay. Choose your words next time.
Okay.
This is brilliant.
This has been educational.
It is.
I love this.
That's a
Straight
soundbite.
people.
Like
you know who you are.
Yeah.
And you know who you are, and you know who you are. And no one could ever change that.
Yeah.
Essentially, you know who you are. People know who they are. And just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not legit, and it's not there. And I think that's the kind of message that the community is trying to get across. Like, we just literally want to live our lives. We're not affecting your kids or anything like that. It's nothing to do with that. It is just people wanting to live their lives. Leave us alone. That's like I said, there shouldn't be a reason for pride. But we have to. We just want to go off and live our lives, and that's it, and leave us be. What we do, if I was going through a gender transition or something like that, how is that affecting your life? That's what it kind of comes from. Do you know what I mean?
And are you alright with all that being under the one like umbrella now? As in the same fight?
100% because...
Sorry, that's where I was going.
Oh, that's where you're going. Right. Okay. We can edit, it's fine. No, I am happy because we all kind of stand up for each other. We all have each other's back. And we're outside the quote unquote norm. Mm-hmm. So we all should fall under there. It doesn't matter to me because the people who fought for gay rights originally were like, they were drag queens, they were trans folks back in like Stonewall, the 60s, 70s. They've always had our back. Even in the AIDS crisis, they've always had our back. So now it's, in my opinion, it's our turn to have their backs because they fought for us.
That's what I wanted to know, because like to me, to beat the rights for gay and lesbians was a fight. Mm-hmm. And then I just thought, maybe are these all trying to chime in with that? Are yous backing each other? Is it a separate thing? That's just what I want to know from your point of view. Like.
There is a fringe out there who think that in the queer community that they're kind of better than the trans community and everything.
So there is a separation within, like.
There is a small separation, yeah. But me personally, I'm just like, no. Everyone just wants to get on and live their lives the way they want to be, and authentically. That's literally it. We won't infringe on yous, just don't infringe on us.
Yeah.
But there shouldn't be that separation as well. Do you know? But it's hard. It's
it
hard. I know it's hard. It's so hard to comprehend if you're not in that circle, in that community and stuff like that. Like I was like that. I was completely ignorant before I came out and stuff, and now just hearing other people's stories and stuff like that, it's just fascinating. They're literally just people, and like you say that they're all saying, oh, there's a load of trans people now. There's more trans in the news, and there's more people coming out as trans or non-binary and stuff like that. Than there was before.
Yeah, do you think they feel safe because of the work that went on before that?
Do they feel safe coming out now? Yeah, I think they just see it as a safe space. Do you know? Where I was going was like back in the I know, rude. But no, right? Remember I know, poor part. Back in like the 50s and 60s, right? Remember when they could only remember because we're that old. You could only write with your right hand, and if you had a left hand, it was beaten out of you.
Yeah.
And then they stopped that law.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and they said, okay, left people, you can write away to your heart's content. And then they were all saying, geez, there's loads more lefties now, like lads. Yeah. But they've always been there. It's just now they're coming to light.
It's an interesting metaphor, yeah.
This is a question that I was researching around. Is the world a better place for gay people now than it was, say, 10 years ago? What do you think? To put an overall arc on our story today, do you think it's a better place now?
I'd like to think it is, but it is taking a little bit step backwards.
Right. Okay.
A little bit.
You
just
feel
with
recently in what way?
Yeah, with the rise in anti-queer movements, in the rhetoric that's been thrown out there.
There's media to blame for this.
Media and social media. The fact that everyone's opinion seems to matter now, and that your opinion beats a fact. Yeah. That's where the kind of...
Do you think there's people that are not helping that from your community? Like,
who do you have in mind?
No, like
who are we?
You're obviously going to. Is this about
Let's
me?
lynch someone. Yeah.
Is this really an intervention on me? Like, you know,
bring them in.
Give me ruler.
Yeah, exactly.
No, so like there are people who were fellas who are now transitioned into being female, who are competing in sports. Do you think because you're under now the one umbrella, is that making it hard for everybody because that's a thing now?
So my response to that is that no one really gave a shit about women's sports 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Why is only thinking now? Like, why is only getting concerned about women's sports now? I do get where your argument is coming from, but I don't know. That's a tricky one to. I don't know. I honestly don't know about that one. I think that's down to individuals.
There's this one particular case in America, and this woman, I don't know the right way to describe it, but he still has all his bits but is competing in women's swimming and is smashing all the records.
Oh, that was on the news the other
and
day.
they're trying to say that's obviously not right, because obviously there would be more athletic or stronger, and he was like a bang average male swimmer, but now he's one of the best in the NCAA. So do you think that there's people that he might do that for the wrong reasons, not because that's who he is on the inside, and then that brings, because these are all under one umbrella, that brings stick on everybody?
No. Do you think this person is just transitioning for the crack and just to get medals?
That's
just
what
to win.
people are saying.
Step.
Well, yeah, no, that is.
That's not what I'm saying.
I mean,
that's just,
no.
I don't think he'd go
I
through
get
that would he, like?
exactly. Do you know what I mean?
She,
And
sorry.
I think that's a very. It's an argument used.
Because you said you feel like it's gone backwards. I'm just wondering, is these kind of things happening to bring it backwards, or
stuff like this? So they jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
It's just one thing, and then okay, we'll just throw everything.
Yeah, that's
there.
it.
That's where you're coming from.
You're right. These are individual cases that have to be kind of taken case by case.
Exactly. Like, I'm not an expert, and that's not my area of expertise. So I can only comment on what I know, and what I don't know, there's no point in me commenting on, because it's just, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth or something like that. It's really down to
which I have done several times in this podcast.
It's like carpentry and electricians, kind of like that, isn't it?
Yeah, the way they don't
exactly like that. Yeah,
yeah, it's exactly like that. No,
what?
You got to give me
biased
it's a whole
electrician.
different avenue.
You got to throw him a bone every once in a while. Like, you know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah, there was a case in America as well of Fallon Fox, who transitioned from male to female and started competing then in MMA, which is similar enough, but there's obviously the case of it. That's a physical, very physical sport, and you're beating people up. But again, you have to take it on that case by case.
But
basis.
I mean, there's some women out there who will kick a lad's ass,
true,
regardless. Do you know that kind of way?
Ronda Rousey kicked my ass.
Yeah, gladly so. It's good. It's good. Let's put a bow on it. I think we've got an hour deep, and we could keep on going for ages. We could probably turn it into a 2 or 3 parter. I'd say.
We could have.
I was going to say something there, but don't.
I feel
Say
like
it.
what you were going to say.
So many innuendo opportunities.
So many innuendos. Just to finish on the point that I was trying to make.
Oh, yeah.
Because, Conor, you're in that community. I wouldn't like anybody to make it go backwards for you. That's where I was going.
Thank you.
with it, all right?
But that's what we
It
need.
has to be protected, and people to stand up for. That's all.
I think there is genuinely a lot of people our age who are, I'd say, emotionally awakening and being accepting of more things. But like, there's also, we grew up in a time, and the generation just before us grew up in a time when this wasn't the norm.
Exactly.
So, not that, we don't have to give anyone a break or anything, but I say there is improvements, I think, happening.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, but even you see the kids now coming out, and if they're like 13 to 14, they're like, "Oh, I'm gay" and stuff like that. My struggle, and I'm like, "You don't know the struggle."
Yeah.
Where's the struggle, you little fucker? Like, you know what I mean?
Speaking of that,
where's the trauma? I need the trauma, people.
Speaking of that, like, if you is there any advice that you'd give maybe a parent that either thinks their or even thinks their son or daughter may be gay, or even if that son or daughter is gay and they're worried to come out to their parents? Is there any advice that you give them, or even a guy that's 32, 33 that had the same scenario as you? Is there any advice that you kind of go, if I could step backwards in time and talk to myself, what would you give them? What advice?
You know who you are, inside and out, and I think if your parents, they know who you are, inside and out. You're catastrophizing it in your mind. It's going to be so much better once you just accept it. That's literally it. Your life is going to improve so much. Like, you're going to meet the most amazing people in the world, and it's going to blow your mind. Yeah, for me, it's a privilege to be part of this community.
It's that time, you know the name. It's the reason we all came. Find the words that are the same. It's that time to play the Waffle Game.
Connor, in 30 seconds, can you name the 5 fancy dishes that I have on my list?
Oh, man.
Fancy dishes.
So broad.
I mean, okay, filet mignon. What's your fancy? You
So
be
random.
basic fancy, like. I mean, you could think a
Googled.
Kiev is fancy.
No, it's fancy.
You're wasting time. Come on.
Fancy. names.
Beef bourguignon. I don't know. Steak tartare. I don't know. Salmon en croûte. Nothing. I'm not even getting a ding.
Go on, keep
wow.
going.
I don't.
No dings, no.
I don't know. Like a curry. I don't know. Yeah, no, like
No
a.
wonder he's not a chef
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
Oh,
I know.
time up.
Okay, so I googled fancy dishes.
Right.
And
That's
this is the
so
top,
broad.
This is
like-
the top 5.
Name 5 people.
Yeah.
On my list.
Nailed him to a cross there.
Holy
moly.
A Waldorf salad is fancy.
Right. Okay. In the 1980s. Okay, go on.
Beef Wellington is
Oh, yeah.
fancy.
Okay. Yeah. Beef. Wellington.
What is it?
Stroganoff?
What's a beef Wellington, by the way?
Beef, like a fillet of beef wrapped in pastry. And like
I've never had
mushrooms
one
and
with
stuff
the
like that. We're doing it for Christmas Day. That's
Oh,
what-
very nice.
I know.
Can we come over?
If you want it. I can make it.
Beef stroganoff.
No.
Yeah, no, that's not
That's what you
fancy.
have at a buffet, like.
Yeah.
Chicken cordon bleu.
It's basically a Kiev.
And
With a bit of ham.
Oscar's Rockefeller.
Never heard of that.
That's
Never heard
Oysters, Rockefeller.
Oh, sorry, oysters. What did I say?
You said Oscars.
Oscars.
Because
Oysters.
that made a difference. Like, damn it, I was so close.
You did it, though.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're so good.
Yeah, they're very good.
I
Aren't
thought
they?
there were dishes that you would have prepared at some point in your life.
I prepared them, but they're not fancy.
Oh.
Stroganoff, Ed, fancy.
Every time
Yeah,
I
exactly.
chop,
You get that at a buffet with some rice, like,
every,
you
time,
know.
every time I chop, I always think of Connor.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
That's good.
protect my fingers.
Protect your fingers, protect those nails.
How many did you get?
And none.
Oh, grand. Okay. I would have. He was getting close with these beef dishes here.
Yeah, the beef
I
dishes.
was, they're not fancy.
I would definitely give him one, but yeah, they're
Huh.
definitely fancy.
Thanks, Scotty.
Beef
Oh
or
my
chicken?
god.
No problem, man.
Really?
Oh shit!
He's sitting right across from me, like.
Am I coming out over the place of this podcast? Let's find out next week. See how my weekend went.
Put a poll up in the stories.
All right, is it shellbomb time?
Shellbombs.
All right, let's do it. Public phone booths may be a rare sight these days, but there's one located in a Japanese hilltop garden, especially unusual. The wild phone was created by a man named Ituru Suzaka. Said that definitely wrong.
That's the wind. No.
What?
It says
What-
wind,
what
not
did-
wild.
What did I? Oh, I said wild
No.
phone.
Look, you can't see things.
You were looking specifically to trip me up there. You're looking at every word I was saying. Nah, it's definitely not that. So it's called the wind phone. Is that right? Who thought that it would be healing, if not whimsical, way to talk to his cousin who had passed away, even if the conversation was one-sided. So there's a phone in a hilltop in Japan where you can go and talk to the dead, apparently.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so there you go.
I have, actually.
Shabba. That's my shabba.
Shalom. Okay, so have you ever heard of the saying, read the riot act?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or read
Mhm.
the riot act?
Yeah.
These days, angry parents might threaten to read the riot act to their unruly children. But in the 18th century England, the riot act was a very real document, and it was often recited out loud to angry mobs. Instituted in 1715, the Riot Act gave the British government the authority to label any group of more than 12 people a threat to the peace. And they could go in with their batons and bit the head off them.
More than 12.
More than
More than
12
12,
people.
unruly mobs.
Holy moly. So like
So they
a
read the
football
Riot
team
Act
with one
out to
sub.
them. Yeah. There you go.
John Boy.
Did you know there's only one? The human body basically heals itself all the time. Like,
That's
isn't it?
not
we're,
true.
we're a great invention. Yeah, if you get a cut, it heals.
Yeah, but if you chop off your arm, it's not coming back.
No, that's
Well,
regrowth.
Unless you're dead.
Or regeneration, I
We
guess.
can't
yeah.
regenerate.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry, go on.
Or the laser out of Spider-Man.
But if we're
Yeah.
sick,
Yeah.
we have an immune system. If we cut ourselves, it heals. Obviously, if you cut your arm off, it won't grow back.
No.
We're not octopuses. But there's one item in our bodies that won't heal itself. Is that
Penis. It's the penis. Is it the penis?
I'm pretty sure I've cut it a few times.
Okay.
Playing with knives. Don't play with knives, kids.
We've all been there.
Um,
Manscaped.com.
no. What?
Oh, yeah, Manscaped. The Lawnmower 3.0.
Yeah.
Sponsor us. Go on.
The ball trimmer. Right, go on anyway, Sir John.
Your teeth don't heal themselves.
Yeah.
The only item on your body that doesn't heal. You're
If
going to doubt that now, are you?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's bone, is it not?
enamel.
Yeah.
It's the enamel that doesn't grow back.
But if you chip your tooth,
Your
it's
ACL
not
doesn't
growing
heal
back.
itself.
it will not grow.
Your
back.
ACL doesn't heal itself.
No, it doesn't have a blood supply.
So if you what happens to your ACL? Does it break?
Yeah, you rupture it, and then you have to get a graft from your hamstring or your patella tendon or your Achilles tendon.
And if you don't do anything with it, what happens?
It just flaps around in there.
Flopping about.
Yeah.
Like
I've
if you
been
break
there.
a toe off, it ain't growing back as well though. Like I mean,
Yeah, because we're not octopuses. You can't grow back things, but you can heal. If your toe is half dangling off, you can sew it back together and it'll heal itself back. But if it's like separated from your body, like it's like 3 foot away,
yeah,
I don't think it will go back on.
But if you fracture a bone, does that grow back? Does that like fuse back together?
The fracture
the fracture would
confuse.
heal. Oh yeah, that's true. But what is that?
What?
What's a fracture healing?
Regeneration.
That's not. Is that bone fusing back
It
together?
sends bits of like calcium back to the bone, and then it joins back together.
Fascinating.
Yeah. We should get a doctor on someday.
The human body.
Yeah.
Have him just tell him to explain the
I
whole
know a
human
doctor.
body.
I know a doctor.
Class.
He doesn't like me though, so he probably won't
We
come on.
should definitely get him on.
No, it's no, he does like
Prostate
me.
exams
Do you
are
know
done.
Dr. Doyle? See if we can get Dr. Doyle to come on.
Oh, no.
So shell bombs.
Shellbomb.
Shell
You
bombs.
can switch
Oh,
it
do you have a shell bomb?
I do actually.
Oh, yay! God.
The Chubba Chubs logo was designed by Salvatore Dali.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know
Why
that.
would he do
Yeah,
that? Psychic.
I know fucking.
Psychic.
Jesus.
There you go,
He
shell
was a
bombs.
graphic designer.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I like
shell
that
bomb. Thank you.
That is a nice one.